Good evening and welcome to a very special broadcast of the Workplace Transformation Show. Hi, I'm John Jerkowitz, and this evening I'm pleased and honored to have with me Leah Dugan of A Day to Remember Wedding Services, LLC, and Elite Escape Travel, LLC. And Leah's going to talk to us this evening about a really cool event she's going to be hosting next week at the Evansville Country Club. So Leah, good evening and welcome. And I'm glad you're with us this evening. So could you tell us a little bit about the event next week?
Sure. Thanks, John. Next Wednesday and Thursday, I am going to be moderating the Creating a Sustainable Business for Female Entrepreneurs at the Country Club. And what it is it is a chance for female entrepreneurs in our tri-state area to meet in a non-confrontational environment, to be able to be informal, ask questions of female presenters that are there talking about the basics of business. So we're going to be discussing business insurance, and we're going to be talking about IT issues and how to incorporate, when to incorporate, and a few other topics, including marketing, branding, and continuity in your business branding, marketing. So I think it's a really great way for female entrepreneurs that are just now starting to think about starting their business, have already started their business but maybe struggling in a few different places, or they have been in the business now for a few years and they're wanting to maybe reinvent themselves or go off in a different direction.
Let me ask you something, because you've been in business about 7 years. Is that right?
Actually, close to 9.
9? Oh,
yeah.
You're not that old. Which do you wish you would have had something like this when you started your business?
Yes, because when my husband and I first started the business, honestly, it was not intended to go the way that it has. When Tom and I first started A Day to Remember Wedding Services, we did not think we would get as big as we did. And we didn't think that, 9 years from now, we would have 5 officiants working for us. I wouldn't be involved in travel and having 3 sub-agents working for me. So when we started the business, we didn't think about business insurance. We didn't think about how to incorporate ourselves right off the bat. We just jumped in and thought, oh, we'll figure it out as we go, which it worked out for us, but it would have been nice to be able to have someone there guiding us along the way, saying you may want to think about this. If you're doing XYZ, you may want to think about incorporating yourself this way. And what are the differences? And do you have a good business lawyer and a CPA to help you with your employees and the difference between a 1099 and a W-2 employee? Those things we learned along the way, which turned out okay, but for some people, it does not turn out okay. And that's where it gets to become a problem.
I'm going to put you on the spot here for a minute. I know we're in the year 2016, but you've obviously been very successful at what you've done. Are women still discounted in the marketplace?
I think so. I definitely think so. I was actually just talking with someone about that today, that women still have got some sort of stigma against them, that they should be at home with the kids, or if they do have their own business, they should be doing that on the side where home comes first. Still, even in 2016.
So I guess a lot of people would have expected you to show up at this video with a plate of cookies then.
Yes, and wearing an apron. Yes.
Yeah, well, them days are over. All your speakers are local, correct?
Yes, they are.
Okay. That's one of the things when you told me about this that was really exciting to me, because we've all been to those workshop seminars where the hired guns come in from out of town and they talk, and then they get back on the airplane, have a few drinks, and go back to wherever they came from.
Right.
These are folks that are going to be able, and by the way, they're all female, correct?
Yes, they are.
Okay. So they're going to be there to kind of provide support.
Yes. Yes. The great thing about having local women is that, yes, they are here locally. So, when you go to big conferences and they give out cards, the speakers, and they say, contact me anytime. I don't think they really mean contact me anytime, because if you've ever tried to get a hold of a speaker, it could be 3 weeks before you hear from them again, if ever. And it's not like they know you on a personal basis either. So with the seminar being very intimate setting, and every morning for about 45 minutes, you also get to network with the speakers. You get to know the speakers. So, on a more intimate personal level than just, yes, they fly away and you never hear from them again. Or if you do email them, they don't know you from anybody else that they met.
When I looked at your agenda, one of the things that I got excited about that I think is more important today than anything else is branding.
Yes.
And I get so many questions, I know, in my business practice, from people that just can't seem to get their hands around it. And I was just real intrigued to see that you've got somebody coming in to talk about all those aspects of branding.
Yes.
Did you run into some issues when you and your husband first started the business with branding?
A little bit. If I could go back and do it again, honestly, a day to remember wedding services is quite long. And it's hard to tell someone my email address, that it's Leah at a day to remember wedding services.com. Everyone always says, oh my gosh, that's long. Yes, I know. But that's the name of our business. If I would have had someone to tell me, maybe you should think about shortening it up a little bit, or calling it something different that's a little bit easier to put on business cards, that's easier to tell someone your email, that would have helped us quite a bit. Also, when we started out as a day to remember wedding services, travel wasn't involved. So as travel became involved into our business, we still ran it under a day to remember wedding services, which for a while worked out okay, because I wanted to work on honeymoon travel, destination weddings, anniversary travel, vow renewal, etc. But as I started getting repeated clients that want to come back to me for birthday celebrations and family trips and large group travel, I wanted to branch off. So I needed to rebrand, essentially split the business. I wanted to keep a day to remember wedding services for the wedding officiant side and my destination weddings, but I needed Elite Escapes to go forward with general travel. And I also wanted to hire on agents underneath of me that would be able to take on some of the things that I couldn't get to. Disney, domestic travel, some of the smaller aspects of travel that I just couldn't handle on my own. So branding and consistency go hand in hand. And yeah, that is one part of being an entrepreneur that you really have to get a handle on right away, is what is your brand, who is your market, what is your niche.
Now, along with the other 4 or 5 speakers, you're going to be there and you're going to be moderating this event. So the women, and by the way, I don't know if we've covered this yet, this is a female only event. So
Yeah.
the women that are going to be attending this are also going to have an opportunity to spend some time with you too, correct?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to say, if I'll be there both days. So if someone asks me questions, and they can ask me questions about how was it starting your own business and growing, what obstacles did you run into? I've got stories I can share.
I'll bet you do.
Yeah.
One final question for you, and I kind of saved the best for last. What's the cost for this
The cost is only $67.
for
We
both
want
days?
for both days. We wanted to make it very affordable. It can be hard if you already own your own business to break out of the office, even for a day or two, and work on your business and not be interrupted by clients, coworkers, employees, etc. So we wanted to make it affordable so that ladies could come out and it's not going to break the bank. It may, require a little bit of budgeting, but it's not going to break the bank by any means. And it also includes a little bit of food, light refreshments. Lunch is on your own every day, but we promise to keep you entertained, give lots of good information, and for $67, you can't beat it. And there is nothing else like this in the area. That's another big piece of this is that it's a local initiative. Um, when last year when I was looking to do a little bit of rebranding, and there was nothing that I could go to local for help and assistance and guidance.
Leah, one final remark. I was talking to a colleague of mine this afternoon, and she's in the United Kingdom. And I was telling her about this, and I was telling her about the speakers and their areas of expertise. And she's been around for a number of years. And she said, any other place in the world you put this on, people would pay $2,000 to $3,000.
Yeah.
Simply for that expertise. So for $67, which, hey, folks, that's a dinner. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Open a can of beans one night.
Yeah.
So I am going to put this up here for just a minute. It's Creating a Sustainable Business, a guide for the female entrepreneur. It's at the Evansville Country Club. And if you're in the tri-state area and you've never been to the Evansville Country Club, it's beautiful this time of year. The trees and the golf course and the long winding road up there. It's just really cool. June 22nd and 23rd. It's going to be from 9 in the morning till 3:30 in the afternoon. And if you want to register, I'm going to leave the link up there for a minute. And you can go to that link and you can register. Now, Leah, when are you closing registration?
This Friday, which is June 17th.
And you're limiting the amount of attendees to how many?
20.
20. So it's going to be a fairly intimate setting, right?
Very, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so they're going to have an opportunity to network, to interact with one another, besides spending time with you and the speakers.
Yeah, and it's because it's such an intimate setting, people can ask questions. When you go to other big cities and big conferences, I think there's a little bit of hesitation when it comes to asking questions because honestly, you don't want to sound like you don't know what you're doing. That's not what this is for. This is to ask questions. We know that whoever is attending is there for a reason. So we wanted to make it a intimate, personal setting and a way for people to feel comfortable in asking questions and not be intimidated.
Okay. So there's the link. And Leah, I'm going to put your email address in the event page so that in the event people have some questions, they can ask you before Friday.
Sure.
Thank you so much for joining me this evening. I really enjoyed having you. I'm not even a woman, and I'm excited about this. I think I've talked to a number of people in a number of different cities. This isn't being done anywhere that they're aware of. Mm-hmm. So for myself and for Leah, I hope you guys have a really great evening. And if you're within driving distance, take advantage of this. Good night now.